Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm going to talk about 10 tips for designing small spaces. So you are loving the 5 tips for whatever, 10 tips for, so I thought I would do a couple more of these and let me know, as always, if these are helpful. It's always good to hear from you guys what you want to hear more of, what is helpful, and I just love hearing from the listeners here at the podcast. So 10 tips for designing small spaces. So like some of you, we have a smaller house. I love having smaller spaces. They're easier to take care of. They're easier to clean. They're easier to keep organized. You get to mingle with your family members all day, like when they're getting ready in the morning, when they're, you're just kind of always together, or you can hear, your kids' conversations that are some of those. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is just like the best. So I get small spaces. In our 2 homes, we've had small spaces. So I have many, many experiences in decorating and just making our small spaces work the best for us and our family as throughout the different seasons of our lives. So I just thought I would share 10 quick tips for designing and decorating your small spaces. So number one is you need to prioritize functionality. So that is one thing that I'm constantly doing. And like I said, through different seasons, as our kids have grown up and their needs have changed and all of that, all of the spaces in our home have also changed. And most importantly, they need to be functional for how we are living in that season, right? So I like to find, pieces that have a lot of storage. And so dressers in the living room, cabinets in the living room you may not think that those are for the living room, but you can definitely put those in the living room and they offer you a ton of storage. So just think about, you need to prioritize functionality if you have small spaces. Every piece of furniture should serve a purpose. Functionality over aesthetics, to just make the most out of your limited space, but you can make it beautiful. You do not have to have a huge mansion to make your home beautiful and just like you want it. Please get that out of your head. Please start unfollowing accounts and things that make you feel different. Please start, using that unfollow button if you start watching accounts that have these huge mansions or huge rooms or beautiful homes and you feel like you are less than or your home is less than. Use that unfollow button. It is not good for you. It is... The compare game is just no good for anybody, and it is not true that you have to have a massive home to make it functional and cozy and beautiful for you and your family. Some of my favorite accounts are small cottages that they're just unbelievable in their tiny spaces, but they look beautiful and they're amazing. So that was just kind of a side rant that I thought I would share because I thought of that, and I know we all fall into that trap. So I kind of talked about this multifunctional furniture. I love finding old pieces and flipping pieces of furniture to fit our home and what we need. A sofa bed, a dining table that has storage. Maybe it's a wall-mounted desk. It just that folds up when it's not in use. It's just the furniture in your home should have, if you can have it serve multiple purposes, that's great. I have benches that have seats that lift up and there's storage inside the bench. Like I said, dressers in the living room, they house all of our throw blankets and our games that we play as a family, those kinds of things. You can buy furniture now where like the seat, pops up and there's actually storage in the chairs. Just all those kinds of things. Think of multifunctional furniture when you can in your small spaces. Use light colors. Use light colors on the big areas in your spaces. So that's walls, furniture, things like that. You can you can then use pops of color or darker colors or whatever, on your throw blankets or your pillows. But it just makes the space feel more open and airy when you use kind of those lighter neutral colors. Strategic lighting. Lighting is, there's a couple rooms in our house that has really good lighting, and then natural lighting is what I'm talking about. And then there are other rooms that are just horrible. So just make sure, proper lighting, it's crucial in a small space. You can use a mix of ambient lighting, task lighting, accent lighting, just to create a cozy, maybe it's a cozy little nook you have or a reading chair, but then also you have a well-lit atmosphere, like when the room is being used and you have company over. Maximize vertical space. So this is something that I don't think a lot of us think about, but your wall goes all the way up, right? Floor to ceiling. And so install tall shelves, cabinets, bookcases that makes the most of the wall space. We have a tall kind of like, it's not really a bookshelf in Landon's room, but it's a tall shelving unit. He has the smallest room in the house. And so that tall shelving unit, it gives him tons of storage and places to put things, but yet his floor is free of stuff, right? Because everything is going kind of up the wall on those shelves instead of all on the floor in different pieces of furniture on the floor. So think vertical space and use it. Okay, the next one might be my favorite. And my family knows this and they're like, oh my gosh, declutter regularly. I am actually when I am done recording this podcast, I'm going to go up and do our bathroom again. So when you are living in smaller spaces and you have a whole family living in these smaller spaces, sometimes you organize all the time and then your family doesn't keep it organized. Anybody else? So I am always decluttering regularly. Now I have a problem and I could organize and declutter every single day. Like give me a cabinet, give me a closet, give me a drawer, and I would be happy. Just let me sit there and declutter it all the time. And so I do this all the time. And I know my family says, oh, mom's, decluttering or mom's organizing. That's what they just say. Mom's organizing. But yes, I am, because it becomes chaotic. And when you guys don't put things back where they're supposed to go, then that tells me, okay, something's not working, right? It's not easy for them to put the whatever in the whatever. So I need to come up with a different way. So I'm constantly trying to figure out ways to make it easier for them to keep it organized. But then I'm also decluttering and getting rid of things that we aren't using, that's just adding to chaos or just making it chaotic. I purge things and get rid of things that we no longer love or use, or something we may have bought and don't like it. Get rid of it. Mirror magic. So mirrors can create an illusion of more space. So, if you've got a large mirror, if you wanted to do mirrored furniture pieces, those aren't my favorite, but large mirrors and just mirrors in general can give you that illusion of the space is bigger. It just can help in that way. So use mirrors in your home if you like them and you have them. Open shelving can give the illusion of more space as well, compared to closed cabinets, where that might feel more cumbersome or might feel like it takes up more visual space, where open shelving is a little more airy, if that makes sense. It's a little more open. So like in your kitchen, bathroom, or like I said, Landon's got those open shelves in his bedroom. But for me, depending on where it is, bathroom and, kitchen, I love closed cabinets because I don't want to see all the stuff. So it's just depending on how you visually do those kinds of things. Do you like to have things closed and like out of sight, out of mind? Or are you okay with the open shelving? I just think with the open shelving, it can get a little crazy. And if you're not decluttering and you're not like filling them up all the time with just random stuff, it's great. If you're decluttering often, that's great. But sometimes open shelving can become a lot. So you just you got to be careful with open shelving so that you're just not filling it with a bunch of stuff. So Furniture with legs. So this is funny. Furniture pieces with exposed legs, they kind of create a sense of openness by allowing light to pass through, right? Again, it's kind of like the cabinet thing. When they're up on legs, it just, again, is more airy, more just open. So maybe that's something for like your sofa, make sure it's on legs, your chairs, obviously, but tables, maybe it's a hutch that you have, it's up on legs. Compact appliances. So in a small kitchen, I am somebody, I do not like a lot of stuff on my countertops. And that comes from living in having a small kitchen. I want my countertops, we don't have a ton of countertops. And so I want them free of clutter. So I am not somebody that wants an ice maker and the toaster and a coffee machine out. To be completely honest, our toaster, you bring it out when you use it and then you put it away in a cabinet when you're done. And so if you are somebody that needs to use the countertop, use compact appliances. There are appliances that you can buy that are they're made for tight spaces. They give you all the necessary functions, but they're not like a massive microwave that was one thing we had to incorporate into our kitchen. I'm like, I cannot have a countertop or have a microwave on the countertop because that would literally take up one of our entire countertops. And I just couldn't do that. So we found a way to put it up over our oven. And so our stove or whatever. But so, clear the clutter, use the space that you have, the things that you use. Like if you're a coffee drinker, I am not a coffee drinker. We just have everything else kind of just put away. So it's just not taking up a lot of space and a lot of visual space in our kitchen. So, okay. I hope those tips helped. Like I said, I've lived in a small space since owning a home. Our 2 homes that we've had do have small spaces. I love it. It has so many positive things about it. I actually wrote a blog post about my number one favorite thing about living in a small house. And it hands down, it is still my favorite thing. You can check that out at mycreativedays.com. But if this was helpful, let me know. Share the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. And like I always say, please reach out to me on Instagram at mycreativedays or through email, lindsay@mycreativedays.com. I love to hear from you, what kinds of things you are wanting to hear on the podcast. It just helps me create the content and record these podcasts. So I'm making sure that you're getting everything that you're looking for and wanting to hear about. So until next time, I hope you have a great day and I will talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.